February is a month where many people take it as a perfect opportunity to confess your feelings, admit you have a crush on someone, or maybe attempt to date the person that you like. And sometimes patago or pakit natin ginagawa, gusto natin yung magpakipot. I guess Filipinos have a preference in doing things in a subtle way or paligoy-ligoy because in our culture, people frown upon those who are very straightforward. Pwede kang sabihang masyado kang presko or masyado kang atat, which I find really unfair. And who can blame them? Because of the many media portrayals where love stories develop even if things were unsaid, there's no full disclosure of feelings, yung pakiramdaman or kapakapa lang, kinikilig na tayo. And yes, they do work for the best sometimes, but it would be a lie to say that that is the case for everyone. Those cute love stories we see on shows or movies that we feel kilig all over are success stories of how feelings or romantic relationships magically develop kahit wala namang tapatan ng feelings. This is the survivorship bias. It's a logical error. We think the unspoken language of love will always prevail because there are many couples who ended up being together even if they started out sa galawang pakipot, pamisterious, payami, paligoy-ligoy. Many assume if their love story can survive, then I guess anybody could pull it off. But what we overlook are the many other attempts of being pakipot, pamisterious, payami, paligoy-ligoy, but they failed miserably. They end up heartbroken. And they do this at the expense of this one critical thing that could have established a better connection with your crush or with someone you like. And this one thing is a clear communication process. Wait, what? I know it sounds boring or it looks like it's coming from an instructional material. It might sound worse once I show you the chart. This chart. But that really is the case. Don't believe me? Allow me to demonstrate. You like someone and so you liked a lot of their photos. You're thinking, hope you get noticed by doing that. But you end up not getting any response. Maybe something was unclear. You like someone and you think they like you back because naghaha or nag-heart react sila sa mga posts mo lagi. And now you're waiting for them to make a move. And now, 2 years later, you're still waiting for them to make a move. You've been dating someone for quite some time now, but you don't want to come off too strong by asking the essential questions about your relationship. So you just enjoy the ride. Later on, you found out, for that person, it was not really an exclusive relationship pala. You felt betrayed. In those scenarios, umasa, na-mislead, nasaktan, pinagkamalang creep, or accused of harassment, we could have avoided those things from happening if we just have a better sense of what part of the communication process went wrong or needs improvement. So let me quickly go through the essential parts of a communication process. The first one is the sender. This is you, the person who wants to communicate. From the very beginning, the intention of conveying a message should be clear for you. Otherwise, if ikaw mismo nalalabuan sa gusto mong gawin, then don't expect the communication process will also be as clear, and that includes the feedback. Just a note. Accept the fact that there will be no interaction unless someone will initiate a conversation. You can be the first one to start things off. And of course, if you notice, this is gender neutral because men, women, and anybody in between could initiate this. Come on, it's 2021. The next one is the message. This bears the details the sender wants to convey, and this is constructed based on other pieces of information gathered by the sender. In the absence of information to back this up, it could spell the start of a communication disaster. What exactly your message is and the information it discloses or asks about is going to influence the feedback. So if your message to the recipient is, hey, good luck na lang, like what the fuck does that even mean? Next one is encoding. This is how you construct and deliver the message. Did you do it verbally, written, or physically? Joke lang. Note that a written encoding or like yung sa mga chat could be deficient of some communication cues like body language, tone, inflection. So be wary of the potential of miscommunication if you didn't encode it clearly. Example, ang form of encoding mo is tinadtad mo na maraming likes yung post or old photos niya. Yeah, that is one way of encoding a message. But the questions are, is the message clear? What exactly do you want to do? Will the recipient understand that? Next to this is the channel. How the message is sent and in what medium, i.e. is it face-to-face or by email? Is it through messaging or dating app? Is it through snail mail or maybe through a friend? One key takeaway with this is the more private and direct to the intended recipient the channel is, the more likely the communication process will have a follow-through in a very efficient and quick manner. For example, if nagpo-post ka sa Facebook or sa Twitter at nagpaparinig ka na, baka naman, free na ako, galaw-galaw na ng baso, that could be a very broad and general channel to spread your message. Nobody is going to have a clue who you're really talking to. Or maybe dinaan mo sa friend mo, kunwari siya yung bridge, pero nalaman mo na lang sila pala yung nagkatuluyan. That is because you tried to avoid a direct communication. You ask for a person to do the communication for you, And of course, kung sino mas may proximity, sila yung magkakamabutihan. Next one is the receiver. So this is the person who the sender wants to communicate with. So just like you being the sender should be crystal clear, the receiver should also be well identified. They should know that the message is clearly for them because that could prompt them to respond accordingly. Again, if nag-GM ka, uso pa ba ang GM ngayon? Or kung sisigaw-sigaw ka kay Cupido or kay Universe, it's like writing a message in a bottle and throwing it in the sea. You don't have an intended recipient, so don't expect a communication to come back. But this is also an essential part, the decoding part. How the receiver understands or interprets the message. This goes back to why it's important that you are the sender, your intention and message should all be clear. And to complete the cycle is the feedback. The receiver's response to the message. This completes the cycle of the communication process. This gives closure or maybe an opening to further the conversation. But singit ko lang din, an essential factor that must be pointed out are the things that can cause disruption in the communication process. And those are noise. Noise could be anything that might interfere or reduce the chance of a successful communication. Now, this is something that may be out of your control as the sender of the message. It could be the recipient has bad internet connection, or the intended recipient is busy or not emotionally ready, or talaga marami lang talagang pinagkakabalahan. So even if you follow the communication process, one thing that you should note of is maybe there's a roadblock. Maybe there's a noise that disrupts the communication process. If you find this hard to believe, try to think about why dating or hookup apps or events like speed dating or group eyeball makes finding a love prospect easier. That is because it automates some essential parts of the communication process. Encoding of your interests, likes, and dislikes, there's a sign-up sheet for that. How do you contact a person? Well, there is an app or a specific event where you can do that. What exactly do you talk about? Well, speed dating events give guide questions. And the list goes on. But of course, I'm not saying that flirting or using your charm to communicate in a subtle way isn't going to work. There are people who are really talented in that department, but this is a question of what is more reliable. Are you willing to take the risks of miscommunication by avoiding truthful and transparent conversations? Because I think if you are simply being honest and you are asking or just saying the critical and essential parts, it can never be taken against you. It's a very important thing for a potential relationship. If the person overreacted, then you have to remember that it's not your fault. The poor reaction of that individual speaks more of them than of you. So this heart season, if you end up being rejected, do not take it personally, because by doing this, at least you have declared your love interest nonetheless. So that's one thing off your chest. You will no longer keep on wondering. It can hurt to be rejected, yes, but loving and dating someone always requires one to be vulnerable. You open yourself to the risk of being hurt, but the hurt of a failed attempt or relationship is better than the existential dread of not knowing what could have been because you did not simply communicate your feelings properly. At least with the former, you had something to hold on to. You had a closure or maybe an opening for further discussion. So go ahead and do the communication process to your crush, to the person you're interested in, or maybe to that someone na gusto mo nang ligawan. Hey, this is Andrew B, and if ever you're new on my channel, one theme that I talk about here is the communication process and self-expression. So thus, it explains this video content, which is nuanced for the love month. Hopefully, this helps for your love interest. If you wanted to read romantic fictions, I posted links of my blog posts and the stories that I write. The links are below on the caption box and in the comment box. And needless to say, if you found my insights useful, do click and subscribe. Share some love this season.